Namaste, Jai Bharat. The geopolitical pundits or so-called analysts could not get a method of understanding the mind of my Prime Minister Modi. They were trying their hard to make a blueprint for his mental operations, and where they fail, they do not know how he thinks and how he acts. Many things that happens they are unable to predict, understand, etc. But this phenomenon is nothing new in Bharat. You look at the Rig Veda. 10 mandalas in Rig Veda. I'm only talking about Rig Veda. There are other Vedas also. But then basically there's only one Veda, technically, as we understand things. The Rig Veda has got so many suktas in 10 mandalas, 10 chapters, etc. It begins like this, Agni Malaya Purohuda, etc. and it ends with the last sukta, Sangachaddam Samvadatam, having two different distinct meanings. And what makes Rigveda dynamic is that something which one has. This is how I understand, and this is how I understand. This is how I discuss. Exclusively my understanding. See, each sukta has to be taught, understood, given space and time difference. Given space and time difference, not only space and time, but also the individual concerns mental requirement difference. So, three factors involved in understanding any of the Vedic sukta: the context, both time and space, and the mental requirement of a person. As you understand, a Vedic Acharya who teaches has to cater to the requirement of the mental requirement of a student sitting in front of him. Suppose there could be a possibility that suppose there are 10 students sitting in front of a Vedic Acharya who is teaching him, for example, say Vak Sukta from the Rig Veda, Vagamparni's case, Vak Sukta from the Rig Veda. He may have to teach it in giving 10 different implications to 10 different mental requirements in front of him. That is a vivacity, and that is a strength of the Rig Veda that makes it so dynamic, unending. That also says the meaning is ever unfolding. Sri Aurobindo, Maharshi Aurobindo, is one of the greatest mind which Bharat had ever seen. It is one of the greatest mind that anyone can ever encounter. Fortunately, he taught in my university for 15 years, Bharat University, and the room which he occupied used to be occupied by the professor of philosophy's room. When I joined, I felt so guilty. I made it a common place for people to go and sit and meditate, because I felt immensely guilty sitting there in a personal thing. Sri Aurobindo thought of writing a book named Secret of the Vedas. He tried, but did not go beyond the first mandala. Why? Do you think that he was unable to understand all possible implications? No, that's not the case. That definitely is not the case. He realizes that it has to be different to different people at different places and different times. So it's impossible to make one implication something very near universal to everyone. That is not possible. So Sri Aurobindo, Maharshi Aurobindo, wrote that book. The book is available, Secret of the Vedas, but he voluntarily stops it, doesn't continue, and he rather gives a concluding suggestion that one has to learn the Vedas from a guru, an appropriate teacher. That's it. Fortunately, I had a student who did a PhD on this. she did her PhD, and she was sarcastically telling, sir, the secret of the Vedas is that there is no secret, or it's full of secrets. Jokingly, she was trying to make this comment. So, look at the character of Vedas. Since this is the character of Vedas, and since the Bharatiya Sanskriti, which is culture in English, is based on the Veda Upanishadic knowledge tradition. Actually, Bharatiya Sanskriti is an emergence or is an offshoot of the Veda Upanishadic knowledge tradition. And we shared the same Sanskriti in all its vivacity and strength and multiplicity and plurality. Can you really understand the function of the mind of an archetype Bharatiya? Archetype person from Bharat? If he internalizes the nation. Now here, for the first time, I am compelled to say that Modi ji is nothing other than Bharat itself. We have names Bharata, Bharat, etc. But look at this person. He is the nation itself. Because this is how Bharat's character is. Ever dynamic, ever evolving, never stopping. It's impossible in your dreams even to visualize a situation where Bharat can be static, because the Vedas can't be static. There's no staticity. It's full of ever evolving dynamism into unknown directions given the context. So, those who want to understand what he is likely to go about doing, thinking and speaking, please remember this Rig Veda, and please remember the nation Bharat, and please understand that he is Bharat itself. I would like to say this, in my own opinion. Whether someone likes it or not likes it, that's their problem. But I would like to say this. I would like to say that he is Bharat itself. And don't think you can understand it just like that. So, don't anticipate. See, when we are having training during my first days, early training, the training schools, the instructor, that's ground training instructor, who used to give out commands, and in all novices, all new youngsters standing columns, this problem is there is someone they move before the command is. Now he very consciously says, in English it's attention, in Hindi it is sadhan, and he will wait, and only when the last utterance comes, you move into action of what the command wants from you. Then he will raise it in a slow way to high pitch. Someone just moves. Then he used to say, don't anticipate word of command. The ground training instructors used to say, do not anticipate word of command. So you cannot anticipate Modi ji, what he will do. He will be dynamic, and you will get unexpected results. European Union got their lesson. US shall get, everyone shall get their own lessons for whatever mischiefs one is up to the nation. Because for him, nation first, he teaches people nation first, which he learns the mantra from Pujanya Guruji, Rashtraya Swaha Idam Namama. We shall meet again. Jai Bharat, Jai Sri Ram.